Hello everyone, my name is Ella, and today I will be discussing the moral significance of feasts within medieval literature. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight opens as the court of Camelot celebrates the new year with decadent courses fit for the wildest of imaginations. Plates are stacked high with seasoned meats, fresh breads, and the finest selection of wines. The extravagance of such a celebration is emphasized by quotes such as, "Then forth was brought a feast, fare of the noblest. Multitudes of fresh meats on so many dishes that free places were few in front of the people." End quote. The vivid and lengthy description of such a get-together is a tangible manifestation of the high honor and pride that Arthur's court seeks to expect. King Arthur's theatrical tone throughout the feast illustrates a facade of glory by declaring he will not eat until all were served in some, quote, strange story or moving marvel, end quote, were discussed in his company. In the display of power via hospitality, there is a grand structure at display. King Arthur's court is sewn within the social tapestry of order, honor, and worship, as they have suffered together through battle and embodied triumph. The arrival of the Green Knight tips the balance of the scales, as the elaborative script draws a stark attention towards his wild presence in contrast to the lively yet orderly festive festivities. The visceral description of the knight's integrity and masculinity poses a threat to the glory of the Arthurian knights. Quote, "Hereabout on these benches are but beardless children. Where I haste in armor on a high charger, there is no man here to match me. Their might is so feeble." End quote. This dichotomy overwhelms the royalty of the Round Table and brings great expectation on anyone who is willing to come face to face with his countenance. He proposes that someone on the noble court is to strike him with an axe and receive a return blow in a year and a day. This challenge shocks the court as they revel in fear, exposing the tension between the ideals of knighthood and the great unknown. When young Sir Gawain steps up, it is an ultimatum of knightly convention where he must abandon his own limitations to justify the underlying chaotic and mystical nature of the Green Knight for the sake of chivalric reputation. In Beowulf, a text in which we are familiar with, the Feast of Heorot, hosted by King Hrothgar, marks Beowulf's arrival as he decides to confront Grendel. This symbolizes camaraderie within chivalric culture. Feast scenes in both texts boast deeds which value honor and reputation in the exchange of stories which assert the space for a hero. Difference lies where Heorot had already found its hero in Beowulf. In both narratives, the feasts highlight the cultural values of medieval society, warrior loyalty in Beowulf and introspective chivalry in Sir Gawain. Ultimately, these moments push the heroes toward their own arcs of legacy and self-growth. As Sir Gawain embarks on a journey of honor, integrity, and loyalty, post-accepting the challenge, we find moments of reflection within the prominent contrast of banquets and holidays set throughout the plot. The Green Knight thus implores a deeper task, not just a testament of bravery and fate, but a battleground to embody the very ideals symbolized by the act of feasting, rejoicing in community. The elaborate scheme orchestrated by Morgan Le Fay intends to test the nobility of the Arthurian knights through complex interpersonal relationships and chivalric honor. Gawain is occupied with layers of vulnerability that collude with his personal integrity and heroic honor set among the social medieval tapestry. In Sir Gawain's journey, these gatherings reflect his inner struggle and the fateful expectations placed on him by the elusive challenge posed by the Green Knight, which deepens the narrative's exploration of integrity and virtue. The ethical and moral background laid forth in the feast scenes allow for the reader to more closely examine the righteous relationship with virtue. Thus, we are better equipped as readers to analyze the intention of knightly honor outside of these grand pillars of chivalric society. And now I will leave you to ponder on a few questions. 1. What setting do you best reflect on interpersonal relationships and significant events? In other words, where do you best feast? Question 2. Do you feel the loss of third places in a post-industrial society has affected our ability to be familiar with each other's experiences? And I will elaborate for those who are intrigued by the question but do not know the definition of third places. Third place is a sociological term used to describe the lack thereof of communal places accessible to all, like parks, coffee shops, libraries, anywhere else besides somewhere where you occupationally have to be, like work or school or your home. And those places generally allow you to bind further with your community. So there's a little definition there if that helps make sense of the question. And number 3, do you think Sir Gawain, in his status as the youngest of the Arthurian knights, played a defining role in his insurmountable virtue? Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you got something out of my presentation.